Good afternoon, Tallahassee. This is your hostess with the mostest, Renita Knight Lundy, sitting in for Reverend Don Tolliver. Today we have another one of our community leaders here with us today. We have with us Mr. Tazh Hall. Mr. Hall, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you very much for asking, and thank you for having me.
That's great. Now, we would like for you to tell Tallahassee just a little bit about Tazh Hall.
Well, I'm not a native of Tallahassee, but I've been here long enough to consider it home. And so, therefore, to consider it home, so I want to give back to the community because Tallahassee's been good to me. I came here for college, graduated from FAMU. I started working initially on a master's in political science, and so I want to make sure that we give something back to the public.
Okay, great. Now, Mr. Hall, can you tell us a little bit of the name of your organization and a little bit about your organization?
Oh, my company's name is Minority Outreach Solutions, and it is registered with the Department of State.
Okay, and what are some of the things that your organization do?
Generally speaking, what we do is political science and small business marketing. So we help people target and grow, go out to communities and then out to community. But then at the same time, for a community that you take from, I feel as though you should want to give back. So we try to do philanthropic work.
Okay, great. Now, it's my understanding you have a major event coming up April the 1st?
April 2nd.
April 2nd, good. We'll take it off of April Fool's Day. Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the event and where it be located? But tell us a little about the event and what attendees can expect.
Okay, well, the event is going to be held in partnership with my church, Philadelphia Primitive Baptist Church, as well as an organization called Girls to Divas. And we've put in some requests with some locally elected officials, so there may be some participation from either county or city representatives.
Okay, and at the event, what will it feature?
Well, what we're hoping to accomplish, to tell you, what we're hoping to accomplish is that every year in the spring, we have tons of kids that graduate here from high school.
Correct.
And then they fall into the abyss. They find that they don't have enough either educational acumen or financial ability to pay for a traditional four-year institution. So that can become problematic. But I think that if we give people those young, it was catered initially to young African-American males because they seem to face sometimes some of the broader challenges. But it's open to the public, it's free, and anyone can attend.
Okay, because I got a 4-year degree in biology, and then I decided, I think I'll go into construction. So, traditional is not always where you end up when you start off. Okay, now tell us about
several attendees. One will be the TCC Workforce Innovation, which is with Ms. Kim Moore. And one of the things that I thought was sometimes in educational, even in one that's non-traditional and not a four-year institution, sometimes it can be cost prohibitive. So the students, even though while you're still trying to find your direction, while you're still trying to figure out what you want to do, you sometimes don't know if you want to go to a community college, you don't know if you go to trade school, you don't know if you want to go to a four-year institution, but then to have somebody support you with the resources to pay for those classes. And many of the careers that are certifications or trainings, there's examples like certified nursing assistant. Well, there's a program that, for example, Goodwill will be there. And Goodwill has what's called a career campus. So you come there and all of the classes are free. Okay. So you come there, they have things like healthcare management, they do hospitality, computer certifications, CNA, certified nursing assistant. So there's they offer there and the classes are free. You're only responsible for paying, only in some circumstances, to pay for state examination, which is required by the state.
Right.
Another organization that will be there is, as I said, TCC. But a lot of the people, for example, a CDL license from TCC is an 8-week program, which allows a person to be certified to drive big rigs, buses. And one of the things that was a concern from Ms. Kim Moore was the fact that a lot of the children couldn't afford the $2,000 to get their CDL license.
Right.
So they now have partnered with the Career Source of the Capital Region, and that's Mr. Billy Riddick. And so what they've done is partner with them to have you come in, take an assessment. They have to take 5 classes. They show up every Thursday, and they immediately qualify for an example, paid internship, where the federal government will pay. It's from the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act, which is through the Department of Labor, comes from federal funding. So what they'll do is place them in some kind of a career after they've done their assessment and determine what they want to do. And then the federal government will pay for up to 320 hours of their internship to allow them to learn this particular trade or this particular job, which is something that's fantastic. And then if they've done a good enough job, the idea is that the employer has had an opportunity to see them, train them from the ground up without having to take on the burden of paying for their salary.
Correct.
So some small business owners want more help but just can't afford to pay additional employees. So this is a great way that benefits the employers, benefits local businesses. They always talk about go local. And then it also benefits the youth who now comes in and gets his on-the-job training from a small local business where he can then hopefully be gainfully employed. And they pay them at a prevailing wage.
Okay.
So many internships, you think, well, yeah, we pay, but we don't pay you the same thing we pay everybody else. There, you will be paid the same as everyone else.
Right. And I know sometimes the prevailing wage, most of the time the prevailing wage is more than the minimum wage for the area.
Absolutely.
So that's really nice for, a teenager to get involved in, or a person coming out of high school to get involved in, especially one that feels that there's no hope.
There's no hope. And it even applies to people who have a troubled or challenged background. So you may have a felony in your background. You may have had a drug history, some type of a drug history or drug interaction. And they take children from the age of 16 to 24. And this is the example of what it says. If you're between the ages of 16 and 24 years old and aren't currently in high school or college, we may be able to help you earn money in 30 days or less through our work experience program. We may also be able to pay for your GED classes and exams. Other career training, income restrictions may apply. So some people think, well, yeah, I'm too poor for it. That's who it's for. Then secondly, I said the career campus, which the classes are free. And then there's a list. The types of jobs that they're offering the training is cardiopulmonary science, central sterile processing technologist, dental assisting, dental hygiene, emergency medical technician, healthcare management, licensed practical nurse, massage therapy, medical admin specialist, medical assisting. There's computer certifications, and these you'll be attending. Some of them are at TCC, some of them are at FAMU, and some of them are at FSU. And so once you come in and get this assessment, you immediately qualify for this paid internship program, and then you also qualify for up to $10,000 of funding to support this education that you now intend to get. And the programs like the CDL license, as an example, which is a worthy profession, it's only most of these certification programs are only like 8 weeks.
Wow. 6
weeks. You want to be a CNA? Well, you can come to Goodwill and you get out of the program in 2 months. And that's an awesome opportunity, because what we hope is the idea is that the children will graduate in the spring. And then as opposed to getting into trouble, they get this paid internship. So they can earn some money, which they can use then to go to school. They can use that to buy a car, use that to support a family or take care of a child, a dependent. But that's up to them. And then the idea is that after they've done this and completed these internships, that they would then, or go into one of the training programs, they would then be in a position in the fall when their friends, because children every year when they graduate go through this level of anxiety.
Yes.
And they feel as though I don't know exactly what I want to do with my life. I don't have the resources to attend a 4-year institution. Correct. So then what happens? They have to look for alternative ways of earning money. Sometimes it's landscaping, sometimes it's construction, sometimes it's painting. But then there are other guys who have to go out and do whatever they think is necessary to take care of their sick grandparent, to take care of their child, and then they're forced into the abyss. And that's where we lose them. So this opportunity gives them some guidance, helps them with an assessment. They'll do resume training. So all of those things, resume training, paid internships, will all be offered. Jobs will be offered, certifications, so all those things will be offered that day. So we have Job Corps coming. Job Corps takes children from the age of 16 to 26.
Right.
So, and then what they'll do is they remove them from that troubled environment, take them somewhere, train them, and then work to assist them in getting gainfully employed by the federal government.
Right.
So that's another powerful program that will also be there along with Career Campus and the Workforce Innovation Center. And then we'll have some other people, AmeriCorps, there'll be some other community groups that are there. And even people who are looking to employ people can come there and find a plethora of personalities, lots of different, and young guys that are looking for, or girls, looking for an opportunity and looking to be gainfully employed. Because if they don't get gainfully employed, then they become a tax burden. So they become an expense to the taxpayers inside of our correctional facilities.
Correct.
Which is also troublesome and challenging for them, and also impacts them for the remainder of their life.
Right, and would throw them into a spiraling cycle that continues, that never stops, over and over and over again. Where these programs now give them a chance to get a start.
Absolutely, and the only thing that they have to do in order to have one of these opportunities or multiple opportunities, they can go and get computer training, web design, all those things. The training is free. All they have to do in order to try to qualify for one of these programs is just show up.
Just show up.
You can do a lot of things. You can fake that you care. You can fake that you're smart, but you can never fake showing up.
Just show up.
Just show up.
That's all we need you to do. Just show up.
We've tried our very best to remove anything that we might be either cost prohibitive or causes people to be fearful. What are they going to do? I know I've been in trouble before. Do I qualify? All of those things. Even if you have some type of personal hardship, you would qualify. There will be something there for everyone.
Okay, because I'm looking at something that even talks about HVAC, which is heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and that's kind of my field since I'm in construction.
Yes, ma'am.
And they make good money.
They do.
They are a large lump sum of a project, because I know at the public safety complex it lumped under mechanicals, but that was a large part of the project next to the framing. So just think they're getting the opportunity to come in, just show up, and the chance to at least learn the basics and work their way up through the process.
We also can't discredit or discount the concept of personal improvement. So even people who are already in college, already have a job, can come in some kind of additional training to improve themselves, which makes them gives them an added value and brings additional resources and value to our community by having these young people that are involved with different types of employers and getting different types of training. And education is one of the best ways for upward mobility, to give you a sense of self-worth, and people who care about themselves care about other people, usually.
Exactly. Because when I talk to younger people, I tell them, you may not feel, or you may not be 4-year college material. Everybody is not 4-year college material. Or you may do as I did, get a degree and then decide, oh no, I don't want to do that, and find out that really the money is something else outside of the 4-year degree that you received. Because it was a medical doctor that encouraged me, go get your general contractor's license, because I was aiming at medicine. And she was like, you get one good project under your belt, you make more money than I'll make, and you can make more money in 6 months than I make in a year.
Sure.
So it's not always, you may not be able to do the 4 years. So here are opportunities. So Tallahassee, we're asking you, if you know young people, please have them show up. And where is the event going to be again?
It's going to be at 840 West Dunn Street, which is the address for Philadelphia Primitive Baptist Church.
And the time?
The time is going to be immediately following church service, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, because I wanted to give people who don't attend our church an opportunity to come
and get
following their service.
And get there, okay. All right, and that is April the 2nd.
April 2nd from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock at 840 West Dunn Street, Philadelphia Primitive Baptist Church, Pastor Elder Terry Price presiding.
Okay, so now with all of this, what was your driving force? What made you just, it had to be something deep within that said, I gotta do this. What was the thing? What was that one thing, or, that just, as my grandmother said, was eating at your craw?
Well, I was relatively active with the church, so I used to drive the van. We go and pick up a lot of little kids, and then you see, on occasion, sometimes you see, even at an early age, 10 or 11, you see a look in their eye of desperation, a look that, what am I going to do? How can I help my family? How can I, what do I do when I leave school? I don't even looking forward to going to high school. Ain't no point. I ain't going to college. So you want to give them that hope. There's other kids who get into program and then they're in diversion programs. So sometimes they're no longer actively enrolled in school. So I used to be on the youth advisory board underneath Pastor Rudy Ferguson from New Birth. And you see children there. One of the other sponsors of the event is Girls to Divas. So Miss Janae White has a mentorship program where they do one-on-one mentoring, and then once a month we invite the girls into the church to do workshops. They get to take tours to the TV station. They'll be going out to see a doctor's office. They go, and so I'm in the 100 Black Men, and they say, well, they will be what they see, and so it is important for us, to instill in them, to expose them to all of these different opportunities that are out there. And that way, if you don't thrive, you want to know then that was your choice. Right. So it's important, but you can't blame a person. They say if you give a man a fish, he'll eat today, but if you teach him to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. And so we want to give these youth an opportunity to learn to fish.
Okay, great. Because I'm just looking at the information that you brought in, and these are some excellent career choices. This isn't Burger King, and there's nothing wrong with doing fast food.
Right.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with fast food, but these are some very good career choices that have great stepping stones.
Absolutely.
You start as an EMT. Next year, the fire engineer who drives the fire truck, to the firefighter, to the paramedic. So these are great career stepping stones. I see you have construction management, and I'm saying to myself, like you said, I'm a small business, and there are times I need extra help, but I can't really afford to really bring in a whole new body.
Sure.
Okay. So now that I know about you, I know you, who have the connections. Okay. So sometimes it's all just one person knowing they have the connections. I can just call you and say, okay, this is my situation. What do we have, and how can we get them employed? And I know a lot of general contractors that would love to get involved in this, because not only are they have the extra hands on, but they see where they are also involved in helping in the community. So this is just wonderful.
Mrs. Tommy Gavin is the curriculum coordinator there at Goodwill. One of the things she said is that with many of these trainings and these certificates, that it allows a person to either work part-time and have a second business after they go to class, or if they have another job, this allows them to be an entrepreneur and to then start their own business. So those things, you don't necessarily have to go out and work for yourself, but it provides you with the information and the skill set to work for yourself if you want to, and if you decide to choose a career option or certification that lends itself to being self-employed. Exactly. So it really empowers people to feel as though they can go out, and when you are your own boss, then you get to write your own checks. So those checks can be as big as you're willing to be to qualify yourself, to train yourself, and then as hard as you're willing to work. Exactly. So that's what we aspire to have in a society, is in the community, is successful people are always a help. Rising tide raises all ships. So if we elevate these youth to being better, that just adds to our community. That adds to their skill set. And they may not... Oh, and the other thing is that the program that comes from Career Source Capital Region is a regional program, so people don't have to live in Leon County. You do have to live in Leon County. The second one is they have one in Gadsden County, and then the third one is in McCullough.
Okay.
So if they live in one of those two areas, then they live in the right vicinity to qualify for the program.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So this is gonna. I'm looking forward because I plan to attend. And I think Reverend Tolliver plans to attend as well. And we're going to also be keeping in touch with you, see what we can do and what we need to do to help your endeavors and help your efforts with reaching our young people, because they really need the outreach.
They need support and reinforcement.
Exactly.
And sometimes in their families, if you come from a challenged family or one of the people that's going to be a one church, one child, and they deal with the foster kids, and so they have several of them at different churches. And when those kids turn out, what do you do when you're 18? No parents, no job, no money to go to college. How can you possibly? All it needs for people to become desperate is, like you said, a lack of hope and help. When they feel as though the situation is hopeless, and they feel that they don't have the ability to help themselves, then people give up, they get frustrated, and then you never know what a desperate person will do.
Exactly. Desperation causes you to do things that you would normally do. Exactly. So what we're asking Tallahassee to do is to please come out. Give me the date, time, and place again.
April 2nd at 840 West Dunn Street, Philadelphia Permanent Baptist Church, from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Great.
And there are postings on Facebook. You can go and look, and it's called College Maybe Not. And my thought when I came up with the title was the fact that, if you're not going, maybe you're going to college, but maybe you're not going to college. And if you're not going when you graduate, what do you do? So that's why we call it College Maybe Not. And, because traditionally what people think of is that you get out of high school, well, you can always go into the military. Nothing wrong with the military. We respect and honor our servicemen. But that's, like you said, that's not for everybody. Just like a 4-year university is not for everybody. So there are a lot of, or you go work fast food, or you go work retail. Those are all honorable professions, as are all of these certification programs.
Right.
But it does give you an opportunity to go, if you want to learn a computer class, you want to learn web design, you want to learn, all those things are things that you can do on your own. Ask what it costs to develop or build a website. People tell you like $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. Well, a kid in high school now can go to school during the daytime and design websites at night and put itself through college.
Exactly. So we're asking all adults that have that know of young men and women that are looking for what after high school, what to do. We're asking you to please come out and attend this event. We thank you, Mr. Hall, for joining us today. And we're looking for not only a success on Sunday, but we're looking for success stories. We'd like to have you come back with some of the success stories.
That'd be great.
And we really appreciate you sharing this information with Tallahassee.
Yes, ma'am.
Tallahassee, we also want to do a shout out to Habitat for Humanities, the Big Bend Habitat for Humanities, on their women's bill. Nola Stodwell, thank you very much. You're doing a good job. Antoine Wright, thank you very much. You're doing a good job. Tallahassee, this is Renita Knight Lundy, your hostess with the mostest, telling you, as always, be safe, be happy, be healthy, and most of all, be blessed. Thank you and have a wonderful day.